This weekend, Gilberto Ramirez returning for his first fight since that title loss against Dmitry Bivol. This is a comeback fight, and it looks like on paper he's taking a comeback opponent. You've got Gabe Rosado, former contender at junior middleweight and middleweight. He has lost 3 fights in a row, and he's moving up to 175 pounds to challenge Zurdo Ramirez. You and I both have a lot of affection for Gabe Rosado. We like the guy a lot. But this feels a little crazy to me, Sergio. Like, I thought Gabe Rosado's career probably should have ended in that last fight against Ali Akhmedov. Instead, he decides to move up in weight and take on a guy who's only been beaten by the very best in the light heavyweight division. Your read on Rosado against Ramirez?
I didn't like it at first, and I still kind of don't like it. I favor Zurdo Ramirez, but, talking to Gabe about this fight, before it even happened, and he was telling me about, this is a possibility. He's very confident because he sparred Zurdo Ramirez plenty of times. And anytime you have...
Does that matter?
Yes, it does.
It does. Why?
It does, because you get a gauge for the speed, the power, and how they're going to react when they get hit. You see the look in their eye. You see the hunger. You see the pride. You can have one good day in the gym, and it's not going to be nothing 2 good days. But if you consistently spar and you have success with somebody, even if they're bigger, that gives you confidence. So Rosado has that confidence coming in. They've been in the ring multiple times sparring, and Ramirez is not fleet-footed. He's not fast on the feet. So anytime you're dealing with a fighter like Rosado, where he's been through the mill, he's already been through so many wars, his wear and tear. He's already, 35, 36 years old. So he's near retirement. You don't want a mover. You don't want someone who's going to give you a headache moving. You don't want a slick cutie. You want a guy that's plotting, that comes forward. You know what he's going to do, and that's Zurdo Ramirez. He's a volume puncher. He's flat-footed. He has pop, but he doesn't have speed. So the things that are good, these are things that a veteran can control. What he can't control are footwork, speed, and youth. And I think Ramirez is not bringing that to the table. So it's a calculated risk by Rosado. Do I think he wins? No. Do I think he gets hurt? No. It's going to be another one of these fights where Rosado gives you everything he has, and Ramirez, is going to find a way to win.
I think it's a little bit more lopsided. You got to look at it more lopsided than that, because
do you think Rosado gets stopped?
Rosado, I don't think will ever go down and stay down, but I think somebody would stop it, whether it's a referee.
I asked you Ramirez. Do you think Ramirez stops him?
If I was going to bet on it, but which I don't because we're doing that fight, I would say yes.
I would say no. I think Rosado loses another one-sided fight. He's a journey. At this point, he's a journeyman. He knows how to survive. He knows how to slow down the clock.
One thing
he knows how. Look, anytime you're dealing with a big, long fighter with wide arms, you get on the inside and you tangle up them arms and you push him back, knowing that he doesn't have footwork. You can kill the clock. But that's what Rosado's an expert at.
You said the one big thing you said about Ramirez is he has fast hands and he throws a lot of punches, right? Like, so you look at the losses Gabe has had lately. Jaime Munguia.
I never said he had fast hands.
Okay, throws a lot of punches.
Volume puncher, yes.
That's the same thing. Jaime Munguia throws a lot of punches. Lopsided win over Rosado. Ali Akhmedov, last fight, throws a lot of punches. Shutout win over Gabe Rosado. That's the problem here. Gabe's career continued because of the knockout win over Bektemir Melikuziev.
Mm-hmm.
Bektemir Melikuziev comes at you and loads up. Just loads up. So he opens the door for that shot that Gabe hit him with that knocked him out. The other guys haven't. Like, Munguia didn't. Akhmedov didn't. Shane Mosley Jr. didn't. If you're going to throw a lot of punches at Gabe Rosado, he doesn't have the volume to keep up with you.
No.
He doesn't. Like, I think it's his, I forget the number of most recent fights, but it's like he's landed like 11 punches per round. He doesn't land a lot of punches. So I think that's going to be a big problem. That's why I think, maybe Zurdo is not the power puncher that his numbers suggest, because the competition's been pretty low, especially at light heavyweight. But I think he's going to throw a lot of punches and land a lot of punches to the point where a referee in like the 7th or 8th round might say, you know what, that's enough. Or Freddie Roach in the corner might say, you know what, that's enough. Gabe, at this stage of your career, at this stage of your life, it's not worth it to go out there and keep taking a beating. I mean, I was watching back the Uneski-Gonzalez fight against Zurdo, and like, the doctor allowed that fight to continue after the 4th round. That was insane. Like Zurdo just lands. He throws that little uppercut that comes with a thumb up there. Like, he has a wide array of punches that he can throw, and land efficiently, especially to the body. Like, he is a great body puncher. I have some real concerns that this could get ugly for Gabe Rosado if it goes the wrong way.
It can. I just don't. I think Rosado has enough tricks up his sleeve to not make it ugly. He knows how to move enough to where a fighter that's flat-footed like Ramirez, and he's not, like I said, he's not fast on his feet. He needs to have that foundation to get that power and that the combinations. The volume comes from the fact that his feet are stationary. Rosado does these little tricky steps where you have to keep refooting yourself. Ramirez is going to always have to keep resetting himself, kind of like Daniel Jacobs while he was having difficulty landing the power. Rosado's really good at managing the clock, at getting you to step forward. Just when you think he's going to do something, he steps back. Just when you think he's not going to do something, he attacks with one punch and then he smothers his shot. And then he walks you back and kills 10 seconds of the clock. He has excellent time management, man, and that's the reason he's able to do this for so long. With Ramirez, if he has the experience, if Rosales has the experience of being in the ring with Ramirez, so he doesn't have to gauge the power. He's already felt it. He already gauged the speed. He already gauged the timing.
Do you really feel somebody's power in sparring versus fighting? Like, if you sparred guys and then fought them, you're like, wow, I didn't see that. I didn't feel that.
No, you always feel it. You feel the strength. You feel the power. Even if they're not hitting you clean on the chin or in the body, you can feel them ricocheting off your shoulder or off the glove. You know how hard they punch. You don't have to get hit square in the chin to know how hard someone punches. You could feel it off the forearms, off your bicep. You know, when you're blocking them with those 16-ounce gloves, you only imagine, like, man, how about when he puts on boxing gloves, the 10-ounce gloves, he can really crack. But power doesn't intimidate Rosado. Ramirez can bring all the size in the world, the power in the world. That's not going to intimidate him. Older fighters get intimidated by youth, speed, and movement. Ramirez is not bringing that to the table.
Okay, but do you see a way he can win?
Rosado?
Yeah. This is what I'm talking about.
I didn't see. Look,
I'm
man,
trying to figure out.
No,
like you like to say,
but
I
didn't think he was gonna. I didn't give him a chance to beat Melikuziev.
Correct. Nobody did. He was looked at as a name that Melikuziev could add to his resume, and he landed a massive shot, and that kept his career going and earned him some well-justified paydays. But in previous fights, you've pointed out that Rosado is willing to lose rounds in order to land one big fight-changing shot. Mm-hmm. Maybe he could do that at 160. Maybe he could do that at 168. I don't think he can do it at 175. That is just a weight class too big. He wasn't outside of the Melikuziev fight. I was looking at his resume. Like, he knocked out Glenn Tapia. Like, everybody was knocking out Glenn Tapia back then. And before that, you have to go back to like 154 to see when Gabe was picking up knockouts. He's not a big puncher. He landed one big shot that put Melikuziev down, but he's not a typical big puncher. So I don't think he can sit back and wait to land one fight-changing shot, not against a guy like Zurdo, who went the distance with Dmitry Bivol, and who took some big shots from Yuneski Gonzalez and was able to keep moving forward against them too. So I don't think any of these game plans that might rely on a fight-changing shot are going to work.
Rosado is a strong puncher. I've sparred him, a handful of times, and he's rocked me a handful of times, surprisingly, because I felt the same way. I'm like, this guy doesn't punch hard.
But you're a 160.
But I'm just telling you.
This guy's a monster. This guy's going to weigh 200
I'm just telling you,
pounds.
Rosado is a very strong puncher. He's strong, all right, and he could hurt you. I don't think he can hurt Ramirez, to the chin at least, but he probably can't hurt him to the body. You never know how a big fighter's going to react once they're fatigued. That's how you beat.
Go to the body.
That's how you beat. That's how you beat tall, big, strong fighters.
I don't disagree with you. Go to the body, but he doesn't go
you
there.
You make
enough.
him miss,
the numbers
and you
don't lie.
Peck him in the solar plexus. Peck him in the liver. This is, I think, the game plan that Rosado's going to have. Back up a big man that's not accustomed to going backwards, maul him on the inside, hold him and wrestle, and sneaky little body shots on the inside. He's gonna have to make it an ugly fight. It's not gonna be a punch for punch type fight.
But he has been fighting off his back foot a lot in recent fights. He was doing that against Munguia. He was doing that against Akhmedov. He's not pressing 168 pounders forward. Why do we believe he's gonna press a 175? I just, especially a guy that's gonna be a cruiserweight on fight night. Like, he's going to be huge.
And that's why he's not favored to win.
Let me put it this way. This, to me, would be a bigger upset than Melikuziev.
I don't know, man.
Melikuziev's untested.
Melikuziev was not tested as a professional, but, I mean, he was a bronze medalist.
All that stuff.
He was bronze medalist, big body puncher, knocking out everyone. The power was tested. The power was real.
Zurdo just got tested by Bivol, though. Like, Zurdo's a tested commodity. 2 fights with Jesse Hart, 5 wins at light heavyweight. Like, he is a known commodity here. Last thing for you on Zurdo. Are you surprised he's here fighting at light heavyweight? I kind of thought he'd move up to cruiserweight after that Bivol fight.
You mentioned this last time. Like, you want him to go to cruiserweight. Who is he going to fight at cruiserweight and why?
We have this conversation.
But he's not suffering.
Jack.
He's not suffering making 175.
I don't know.
He hasn't picked up a strap.
You think it's healthy to go up 29 pounds like he did in the Dominic Bozil fight?
He hasn't picked up a strap at 175. So
There's no strap to pick up.
Let him become a champion.
How?
Or get an opportunity for a championship.
How?
By continuing doing what he's doing. He's already fought 5 guys at light heavyweight. He's 5-0, right?
Okay, what title is he going to get?
Doesn't matter. Well,
there's no titles.
Not right now, but he's going to put himself.
Bivol's 2023 is booked.
It doesn't
Better
make sense.
2023.
It doesn't make sense. Cruiserweight doesn't make sense for Ramirez. He's not going to stay there.
It makes sense for Badu Jack.
It's not. Yeah, but Badu Jack's 39 years old, 40
So?
years old. He has to go where the money and the opportunity is.
The money and the opportunity is at cruiserweight right now. You think Badu Jack versus Ramirez a big fight?
You can't. Big fight, no, but
headliner.
But it's a good fight. Yeah.
Headliner. Badu Jack has no promoter. He's out there.
I would love Badu because Badu Jack is an underrated great fighter. Yeah, because he puts up.
I was incredibly impressed with Badu Jack.
Underrated.
He's now 3-division world champion. He went up and fought arguably the biggest puncher at cruiserweight.
Underrated great. Even his losses are wins somehow because he got something off of it. And he's only lost to the best. So underrated great fighter. A great resume that he's putting, and he's a hell of a fighter. I think Badu Jack will be a favorite against Ramirez. Yeah, I would love to see that fight, but it's not a necessary step for Ramirez to go to cruiserweight just to go after Badu Jack and that championship he picked up. Ramirez is a light heavyweight. He's campaigning at light heavyweight. Keep knocking guys out and do your thing at light heavyweight.
I see no point though. There's no title to pick up in the next 18 months.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be a title that he has to pick up.
You just said
he's making a lot of money. He's making a lot of money, and he's headlining. He's becoming a headliner in the Southern California area.
He's a headliner.
They're promoting him perfectly. Golden Boy does a hell of a job promoting their talent, especially in the Mexican populated areas. Continue moving him like the star that he's becoming.
I love that you say Golden Boy does a great job building fighters in Southern California. Yet the last time we did this, you were yelling about Edgar Berlanga going to Texas when that guy sells tickets in New York. Your logic is way off on this typical thing. I just think Sergio, and what's Zurdo, like 30, 31, something like that? Yeah. He does have opportunities to get in some significant fights. Maybe you could fight Jaime Munguia. Munguia seems to want to fight at 175 at some point, so that would be a pretty interesting fight.
There you go. But that'll be at 175, not cruiserweight.
But like, you go to cruiserweight and you fight Badu Jack, and Zurdo would probably be a favorite in that fight because Badu Jack is a former 168-pounder too. Like, he's not a big cruiserweight. Zurdo against Badu Jack. You win that strap, all of a sudden, like, you could go to the UK and fight Lawrence Okoli in a big fight. There's money at cruiserweight right now, Sergio. It's not like the money at peak light heavyweight, but there's money at cruiserweight.
I would favor Badu Jack in that fight.
Really?
Yes.
He looked great against.
I would favor Badu Jack against Ramirez at cruiserweight. So then it'll be. That's
a great fight.
Yeah, it's a great fight, but it's not a popular fight. It's not a mainstream fight. It's not the fight that Ramirez is looking for.
Headline.
No, it's a big fight for boxing fans, but Ramirez is looking to be the A side. He wants to be the next star.
Out there. Who is out? Who would you have him fight? So let's say he wins.
Keep knocking guys out.
He beats Rosado. Who's next?
Keep knocking a guy. Whoever they put in front of you. That's it.
Then we go back down that path of Dominic Bozil and, the guys he had to fight. Yuneski Gonzalez.
Do people come and watch Zurdo Ramirez fight?
Yes, but those fights are pointless.
People come and watch.
Actually, I take it back because they weren't pointless because the WBA made him fight those guys.
Listen,
so they weren't pointless.
They show up. The fans show up. They love him. He gets the knockouts. He moves on. He's becoming a star. Even though he's 31 and a former champion and undefeated still, he's still being marketed and pushed the right direction. He's a good-looking volume puncher that knocks guys out. What's not to like? Keep doing your thing, Golden Boy. I think they know what they're doing. They don't need to put him and rush him into a championship fight again.
Don't rush him into a championship fight.
Not if it's not there.
Badu Jack.
Not if it's not there. Not if it's not there.
He wants to win titles. He said that. He wants to become a 2-division world champion. What's the fastest path to that? To me, it's Badu Jack.
I like the Badu Jack fight. I like
so
that
you
fight.
With me?
I like the Badu Jack fight, yes. But I just don't see him